Hello, today on Public Eye News, FBI investigates 2 bombs found near northern Michigan stores, and Fred Dakota Native American gambling pioneer dies at 84.
Later, Brendan will have your weather for the weekend, and Michael will have your sports update. Hello, I'm Mitchell Reif.
And I'm Dana Souther, and this is Public Eye News. The Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy now has an update on the investigation of air quality at the Graphic Packaging Incorporation located in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The meeting updating those interested in finding out what they know so far will be held October 5th at 6 p.m. The meeting will be held virtually, and if you want more information, visit www.michigan.gov/EGLE. Last week in Sheboygan, Michigan, in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, things got very intense for 2 of their local phone companies, Verizon and AT&T, when they discovered suspicious packages outside. The stores quickly called it into the authorities, and the police were dispatched out. The suspicious UPS packages were labeled CMT, and inside these packages, authorities discovered bombs. However, the bombs were quickly defused, but the investigation is still ongoing as the FBI tries to discover and stop the group from sending out any more bombs. Unfortunately, this year, Mackinac City's annual Fort Fright, which was supposed to be held October 8th and 9th, has been canceled due to concerns of rising COVID cases, staffing shortages, and housing those willing to volunteer. This event has been a staple of the Mackinac area these past few years.
Michigan's Pollution Prevention Week will be going on the 20th through the 26th of September. This week is an opportunity for schools, communities, and businesses to share their ideas about how they reduce waste. The governor supports this as an action in having a more prosperous future. Yesterday in Duluth, Minnesota, the Greenwood fire was mostly contained and forest restrictions were lifted. While the area is still very dry, officials do not expect the fire to spread. The start of the blaze was on August 15th and destroyed 14 cabins and homes, along with 57 outbuildings. The crew continue to find and dig out hot spots along the edge of the fire. Evacuation orders go to 40 residents' homes and counting. More on recent news, Fred Dakota, a Native American pioneer whose garage casino was a milestone for Native American gambling, has passed away at the age of 84. The garage casino led to more construction and bigger and better casinos. Tribal offices were closed that week Friday on the day of the funeral. And don't touch that dial, we'll be back with your national and international news.
He was bigger than boxing.
Muhammad Ali was the most important man in the world.
He was larger than life.
His magnetism just was amazing. Who is this guy?
He was a revolutionary. He was a groundbreaker.
What are they going to say about that now, huh?
Ken Burns captures an intimate story of victory, defeat, and determination.
The price of freedom comes high. I have paid, but I am free.
Muhammad Ali.
Tonight at 8 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back. Pfizer now says there is a COVID vaccine safe for children ages 5 to 11. The children receive a lower dosage but seem to show the same amount of coronavirus fighting antibody levels as those who were slightly older and received a higher dose. The children not only showed the same amount of antibodies, they showed lower side effects from the vaccine. Trudeau really gambled with an early election, possibly risking his position to O'Toole, but he is betting on Canadians to reward him for the way he navigated the coronavirus crisis, leading Canada to be one of the most vaccinated nations in the world.
In Three Rivers, California, 4 famous giant sequoia trees were not harmed by a wildfire that reached the edge of the forest. The wildfire in Sequoia National Park was sparked by 2 lightning strikes. The trees were protected by wrapping fire restraint around the material of the around the base. There were 4 trees that are special to the park because they are located at the entrance of the park. In Moscow, Russia, a student fired on Monday at Perm State University. The student killed 6 people and left 28 injured. Beyond just saying it was just a student, authorities have not released any information. The university has a total amount of 12,000 students, but only 3,000 were on campus at the time of the shooting. During the attack, students and staff locked themselves in a room, as well as some jumped out of the second-story window. Law enforcement officials have descended on a Florida family home. A man police say is a person of interest in the death of his fiancée. Brian Laundrie has not been seen for nearly a week, and the FBI wants to question him about Gabby Petito. Investigators found her body in northwestern Wyoming yesterday. Jerica Duncan is outside the Laundrie family home in North Florida.
At the family home of Brian Laundrie, crime tape went up and FBI agents went in. They escorted his parents outside to an unmarked vehicle, and shortly after, the parents went back inside. Over the weekend, Laundrie's parents told investigators they had not seen their son in nearly a week. Today's search of the Laundrie home follows the discovery of what appears to be Gabby Petito's body near Grand Teton National Park.
The cause of death has not been determined at this time.
Gabby Petito never goes outside.
Petito disappeared while on a cross-country trip with Laundrie, her fiancé.
So, we are right outside Capitol Reef right now.
Laundrie is believed to have returned home to Florida September 1st without her. Josh Taylor is the spokesperson for the Northport, Florida Police Department.
He was back here in this community for 10 days before she was reported missing. It's a lot of time for somebody to kind of get their act together. We certainly think Brian has some explaining to do.
At one point, more than 50 agents searched for him in this nature preserve near the house where he lived with Petito. This morning, they said they'd exhausted the search. CBS News spoke to Gabby Petito's closest friend, Rose Davis, who told us the couple had their issues.
Every relationship has the bumps and everything like that. I would never have thought this could happen.
Through a series of TikTok videos and pictures, Davis pleaded for any information about her best friend and told us she thinks Laundrie has to know something.
I wanted to text him and just be like, please, please give me something.
Davis says Petito always had a way of putting a smile on Davis's face.
She'll do everything to bring the light out in you, and if she can't, she'll give you some of hers.
The attorney for the Laundrie family called the news of Gabby Petito heartbreaking, saying they are praying for Gabby Petito's family. Jerica Duncan, CBS News, Northport, Florida.
The entry point in Del Rio is now closed, and the Department of Homeland Security says, quote, "Our borders are not open and people should not make the dangerous journey," end quote, but that message hasn't worked as a deterrent.
Instead of crossing the international bridge that connects Acuña, Mexico to Del Rio, Texas, an estimated 12,000 migrants, many of them Haitian, are now camped out under it.
We now have 1/3 of the population of the city of Del Rio, Texas, in a confined space.
400 border agents are being sent in to help, according to the Department of Homeland Security, which says they will accelerate the pace and increase the capacity of removal flights to Haiti and other destinations.
This is just, at this point, overwhelming for the resources that we have on hand.
The U.S. has seen a surge in migrants at the southern border from countries like Honduras, Ecuador, and Guatemala. Now Haitians, many of whom moved to South and Central America after that devastating earthquake in 2010, are also heading north. On Friday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott added nearly $2 billion to his state's border security budget.
It is the federal government's job to secure our border, but the Biden administration has failed to do its job.
And after this break, Brendan will have your weather report and Andrew will have your sports. Stay tuned.
On the next Great Lakes Now, helping birds safely migrate through cities.
Birds don't perceive glass. They see it as an open area when it's clear, and they don't avoid flying into it.
Investigating algae blooms on Lake Superior.
They can produce really potent neurotoxins, and those can affect, our pets, wildlife, and human health as well.
And visitors return to Great Lakes Aquariums.
There's smiles all over the place. It's an awesome feeling.
Tune in Sunday afternoon at 3:30.
Hello and welcome back to Public Eye News. I am your host, Brendan Ford, and I have your weather for the day. Here on the Marquette NMU campus, it is slightly rainy. It went from a longboarding day to a laundry day. It is currently 79 degrees, partly cloudy of course, with the winds heading north 19 miles per hour and a barometric pressure of 29.79 degrees falling. And tonight, there will be some scattered thunderstorms with a low of 57 degrees with winds heading southwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we will be expecting some clouds with a high of 61 degrees and winds heading northwest at 19